Welcome or welcome back. Today we are doing a new speed build on the channel. It's been way too long since the last one, and I am and I have been in a bit of a building mode lately. So I feel like I'm getting back to building and just playing in general. But yeah, more on that later. How are you? I'm okay. I feel like I might be getting a cold, so I have some tea here with me with some honey, and let's hope that fixes it before I actually get sick, cause you don't have time to get sick ever. It's a Sunday today for me. It's just gonna be a really chill day. Probably gonna be playing more Sims. It's been my weekend happy place lately. My life is just a little too much, like usual. Well, back to the build. We are in Newcrest and we are building a community garden. Because we don't have enough of community lots and the general ones are quite boring. And then I remembered, wait, we have those multi-lots from Eco Lifestyle. Remember those? The concept is great. Why don't we use them more? So I decided to take this little awkward 40 by 20 lot that we have in Newcrest and make a community garden. You can of course also do the other ones, the makerspace and the community center, and I forgot the last one. If you want to, but I wanted this to be a community garden. So that's what I decided to do this time. Might do the other ones some later date, but right now we're doing the community garden version. And I tried to keep it very simple, not use too many packs, not decorate it too heavily. So yeah, it's just simple. It has the requirements. I used this little fence from Backyard Stuff where there is a little sink and some bins, because when you're gardening you get dirty, you want to wash up, and you have garden debris you need to throw it out. So yeah, I used the sink from Outdoor Retreat. That's another thing we don't have enough of, outdoor sinks. I first tried the one we got with a recent pack. I think it was Horse Ranch, maybe? No, for rent, maybe? Maybe it was for rent. Horse Ranch or for rent, I can't remember at the top of my head right now. But they just looked, they have these towel decors on them. That just throws it off for me. So outdoor sinks for me, I almost always only use this one from Outdoor Retreat. I want more. And then I used a half wall to put the little hose of water, so you can fill up your little watering cans and water the plants. And opposite to where the bins and the sink is, I put the flower arranging tables from Seasons. And I think I do that right now. Yes, I'm just trying to find them in the catalog here, because sometimes the catalog is a little overwhelming. Here I'm looking for if there's anything else I can decorate with, and I don't think I find anything. No. But here is where I decide, we have the flower arranging table. So I'm gonna pull those out, and I'm putting them opposite to the sink and the bins. Like I said, I keep the swatches pretty neutral because it's, you know, for everyone. I also put in some bees, some beehives, so all our plants can thrive as best as they can. And I guess here I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that we can put in, and I don't think I put anything else in. Other than that, the rest is just some more landscaping and terrain paint. Okay, I need a sip of tea. Oh, that was hot. I almost burned myself. Okay, there's some lavender plants, and I think soon-ish we are moving on to the landscaping and the terrain paint. No, I do something else first. I put in more fencing around where the to section off the planter boxes from the rest of the lot. I used the one of those debug base game arches, and isn't technically an arch, but it's this one here, the one with metal. I imagine you can also put it around the planter boxes and have the idea of roses climbing on top of it. I don't like that this one is a little narrower than the square, so I'm hiding that with some bushes. Mostly debug landscaping for this lot also, to not make it too expensive. And also sometimes I actually prefer the debug landscaping textures and coloring to the ones we actually have in the actual catalog. So yeah, there's also the requirement to have a bathroom on the lot, so I'm using the stall one that's just around the world here. Now we are doing the terrain paints. Testing out what color I wanted to use, and I'm using the darker soil version here. Firstly, I'm just going around all the planter boxes with the soil color, and then I'm gonna be covering it with the gravel texture. So yeah. It's very basic and very simple. I also realized I placed these a little off here, so I'm moving them back one square so it's more in line with the squares. And since these should all be usable because they only need they can access all this surrounding sides. So yeah. But they're easy to move around if they're not. And here we are going in with the gravel texture, using the one that's more grayish, or well, sort of neutrally grayish for this part. I didn't feel like doing a tile because I didn't feel like this garden should be that fancy to have tiles. I felt gravel's cheaper. The community paid for everything themselves, so they went with gravel. I'm also doing the gravel in between the planter boxes. some more tea. So, how's the weather for you guys? Here today it's really sunny and quite cold. I haven't been outside yet, but it looks cold and frosty, so yeah. It's January, what am I expecting? Actually, no, it's not, it's February. The days are just blurring together. Today's the 2nd of February. Yeah, my brain's still in January, apparently. And yeah, well, we are doing some overgrown grass along the edges, so, and more lavender. I thought about it, but I'm adding some of the grass debug from growing together, I think. So it doesn't look too perfect in the corners where the hedges are. I'm also changing the color to the more brownie swatch on the beehives. And here I decide, it looks a little empty at the back in the middle. So I'm adding in the wishing well from Romantic Gardens. Just, as a deck. I thought about placing it in the middle, but then I thought it covered up too much and was a little tight to walk around, so I decided to put it at the back of the lot instead. And now we are going around and doing the terrain paint on the edges underneath all those big, beautiful, lush hedges that's surrounding the lot. And we are almost finished soon here. I'm doing some more of the gravel on the rest of the lot. And that should be it for this build in a minute. After I've done this terrain paint and some more minor touch-ups to the landscaping, I'm adding some hedges in and that stuff. I'm gonna leave you with some music and the final screenshots and videos of the lot, and I wish you all a lovely day. And if you're watching this on release, have a great Sunday. If you're in a similar time zone to me, I'm in Europe. So it's the morning for me right now when I'm recording this, so my day hasn't happened yet. I'm yapping, sorry. Have a great day whenever you're watching this, and I hope to see you again soon.